Hello, everyone. My name is Raymond Oenbring. We're sorry we can't be there in Budapest, but thank you for letting us present. I presented at the last Cool Days. My name is Raymond Oenbring. I'm the founder of Antecedent Writing Analytics and an English professor. At the last Cool Days, I presented the antecedent technology uh, based around Collabora. Our big update this year is since then, I have had the pleasure to get connected with Delmar Larsen, who is who's a chemistry professor at UC Davis and the founder of the LibreTexts project, one of the world's largest open education resource sites. And we are now hosting the antecedent writing technology at LibreText, and it's been rebranded as the Forge. So please take it away.
Great. It's a pleasure to be here virtually. So, as Raymond mentioned, my name is Delmar Larsen. I'm a professor at the University of California, Davis, and I've been running the LibreText project for a while. So, the LibreText project, if you're unfamiliar with it, is a multifaceted project that focuses on open educational resource content, construction and distribution, the construction of technologies in order to be able to augment that, training and development activities. But in short, what we're trying to do is to build a community-built ecosystem for the construction, distribution, and usage of open educational resources, OER, that is comprehensive and can be curated at multiple levels. And that is a relatively large, multifaceted approach. And we're very happy with the technologies that Raymond brought to us in order to be able to expand this mission. The core of what the LibreText project is doing is constructing this ecosystem. We call it the LibreVerse, and no connection to LibreOffice until now. And the core component of the LibreVerse consists of 16 interconnected wikis, which operate as libraries in which we can host our OER that's openly distributed and everyone can grab it both from North America and abroad. And then complementing those libraries are ancillary technologies that handle a wide range of different things that we want to be able to address. They're all open source, available on GitHub, from a homework system to project management tools to cataloging to a Jupyter Notebook system for engaged coding, data analysis, and a few other aspects. And the topic that, of course, we're discussing here is the Forge, the new introduction to the LibreVerse that we're very excited about. Now, I mentioned briefly that the LibreText project has been around for a while. It started in 2008, originally as a project called the ChemWiki, focusing on chemistry. We now focus on a broad range of different topics. Since then, we have constructed about 3,000 textbooks, or somewhere in the order of 1.5 million pages of OER content. We have over 400 campuses that have used courses that formerly use LibreText books for them, but a large number of courses don't have to register for accounts. We distribute somewhere in the order of 3 million page views per week. At the peak of the week, it's 1 million page views that day. Um, and it makes us the largest corpus of OER content, at least focusing on textbooks, and the most popular OER content on the internet today in terms of textbooks. Wikipedia is a beats us by a little bit, but that's hard in order to be able to beat. So, Raymond.
Yes, and the Forge, what used to be called antecedent writing, I started in 2022, and it has now been used at over 10 campuses for different types of classes, including introductory writing classes. I'm an English professor, so that was my original interest, but it's also been used in chemistry, history, and computer science.
So, in talking about how we view the niche of the Forge within the LibreVerse and open world has to do with construction of content. So the traditional way in which individuals build educational resources, whether they're open or not, is largely within individual teams that focus and hone and construct and edit and go through typesetting and all the process out there. It's a time-consuming process. It's necessary in order to be able to, or one can argue it's necessary in order to be able to build reliable resources in order to be able to distribute it. But because it's time-consuming, it has significantly limited the massive expansion of OER in academia, and there's a need in order to be able to expand beyond that. Now we're introducing the concept of open pedagogy, and the idea behind open pedagogy is to use the construction capabilities of the classroom where students can actually build resources OER, and then from that, learn from building, and then being able to distribute them publicly. And that massively parallelized based approach provides a great opportunity in order to provide or expand the corpus of OER out there, and that is one of the primary aspects that we want to be able to use Raymond's technology off here. So Raymond's technology was focusing primarily on the writer or the document capabilities of Antis, excuse me, Collabora. He recently expanded this to include the calc, impress, and draw capabilities, and this provides a wealth of capabilities for the technology in order to address many different classes. So not just essays, reports, literature reviews, pure pedagogy-based approaches from the text-based, but we can now start to address things like statistics, accounting, data analysis, data entries with calculations in calc, presentations, infographics, portfolios, communication studies in the Impress infrastructure, the ability in order to scale up and address images, flowcharts, web design shared within the Draw infrastructure. So we're very excited with this expanded scope that we have access to. So we wanted to be able to talk a little bit about the structure of how the Forge operates. And the core of the Forge is obviously the technology of Collabora. And in this case here, we just grabbed the document capabilities, but any of the four technologies can be this core component off of here. Then what was constructed behind it is a wrapper, a technology that facilitates the instructor's capability to manage a classroom and the students in the classroom. It provides the opportunity for individualized editing for the students in the classroom. It facilitates peer review, revision control, advanced writing analytics, grading, and learning management system integration. So students actually interact with the Forge in a parallelized manner, whether it happens to be a 5-student class or a 100+ student class, which is what I ran last term. Um, and then to tie it all together, the Forge can pass back scores directly to learning management systems, which is a key component in modern applications, modern classrooms, that is. Um, so with that, Raymond?
Great. So just a quick reminder, I went over this last year in my presentation. Just a quick reminder of what our technology does just on the document side. As I said, originally my motivation was as a response to the challenges uh, of academic integrity caused by the advent of generative AI, as particularly AI writing tools. Uh, but as we've seen, we're now expanding the vision to be focused more broadly on open pedagogy. So yes, this is of course the writer with the instructor analytics here. So the student writes in the writer word processor. Next slide. And this is an example of one of the primary analytics, one of our signature analytics, we call it the essay map. So it shows the instructor essentially the entire editing history of the document to ensure that there was a suitable amount of time editing and revision on the document. So generally, what we want to see is the more wiggly the lines, the better. Because A straight line it would indicate that they just type the thing out generally, type the text out linearly, as in perhaps directly from ChatGPT. Uh, the green circles indicate paste-ins, the red circles indicate deletions. So the larger the circle, the larger the amount of text. So time here is on the x-axis, and the physical location in the text and the edit is on the y-axis. Okay, next slide, please. And then we also have this heat map, which shows the time the student spent writing the assignment. So the hours of the day are the columns and the days are the rows. So this is a good sign. The student spent multiple hours over multiple days writing this assignment. What we don't want to see is a single red rectangle. Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. With that, we've gone through a lot of infrastructure development off here, but there's still a lot that needs to be done in order to be able to scale things up. That includes obviously scaling up and recruitment and adoption of the technologies out there, building a sustainable model behind how we implement and distribute that, so we ensure that this is maintained for everyone to access. One of the key technology aspects that we want to be able to do is to introduce the technology into a scalable infrastructure with a dynamic load leveler like Kubernetes in order to be able to handle very large classes. For example, the classes that I oftentimes teach at UC Davis are 500 students plus, and if students need to access these resources all simultaneously, we need more than a single server infrastructure to address that. And then we want to be able to pursue a research line in order to be able to identify what are the benefits from a pedagogical perspective and from a research perspective in order to justify what's being done here rather than just from the intuition as instructors as needed out there. So, so the future is bright and open. And with that, thank you for your attention.
Thank you all very much. Have a good day.
Cheers.